Welcome everyone to the Southwood County Stadium on the campus of Lincoln High School for a gorgeous
Seniors, this may be your senior night, but it is not farewell. You'll forever remain part of the legacy of our soccer program, and we look forward to witnessing all of you have accomplished. Go Red Raiders! And now for our starting lineups. Starting for the Wausau West Warriors. Number 0 in goal, Grace Callio. Number 6, Lily Bizak. Number 8, Emily Lucht. Number 9, Violet Kelly.
It sounds weird. Do you hear?
Number 10, Mercy Kelly. Number 11, Madeline Weller.
With it, there's like.
Number 13.
Welcome everyone to the Southwood County Stadium for a gorgeous night of girls soccer between the Wisconsin Rapids Red Raiders and the Wausau West Warriors. Running through your starting lineup quickly, we have number 0, Grace Calillo as goalkeeper for the Warriors. Number 6, Lily Bijak. Number 8, Emily Lucht. Number 9, Violet Kelly. Number 10, Mercy Kelly. Number 11, Madeline Weller. 13, Ella Bolin. 16, Olivia Meyer. 17, Stella Olson. 18, Maya Rice. And finally, number 20, Olivia Colwell. For your Wisconsin Rapids Red Raiders, we have number 2, Natalie Haddow. Number 5, Clara Mitchell. Number 7, Kendall Bannock. Number 8, Sydney Meyer. Number 9, Lauren Schillinger. 10, Bryn Bannock. Number 12, Allie Johns. Number 13, Veronica Candler. Number 16, Abby Gus. Number 18, and number 0, number 1, Aaliyah Leach in goalkeeper. And then finally, number 19, Sophie Fight. An excellent night for girls soccer here. I think it's still around 70 degrees here on the complex of the Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln High School. Our head coaches for this evening for the Wausau West Warriors, Lance Kelly, and for the Red Raiders, Nate Cleveland. Now we'll turn it over for the national anthem.
Serving abroad with the playing of our national anthem. Tonight's contest, Dave Coons, Randy Match, and Joseph Wadala. Game time temperature, 82 degrees.
Our PA announcer just let everyone know here that our game time temperature is 82 degrees. I'm sure it definitely feels that way down on the turf. Before we get too far into the beginning of our live broadcast for you, I'd like to thank our pregame sponsor, Next Step Prosthetics. Today's pregame is brought to you by Next Step Prosthetics, providing prosthetic and orthotics throughout central Wisconsin. Take your next step and contact them today. Very exciting night, as it is senior night here at Lincoln High School, which we can, get into that a little bit as the stream develops. I'm very excited to see what kind of formation and attack that the Raiders have, especially against, conference opponent West and, vice versa. Wausau West is currently 2-0 in the conference and an even 5-5 across all games, while the Wisconsin Rapids Red Raiders are 1-2 in conference and 3-7 overall. Wisconsin Rapids last faced DC Everest, losing 1-2, and Wausau West most recently faced Spash, winning 4-1. Wisconsin Rapids formation looking very heavy in that midfield, defensive mid central position, while West has 4 in a line for offense. Looking at the kind of juxtaposition between the defensive and the offensive formations we're seeing respectively. Game kicked off at 7:10. Throw in here for West as they make their way into the defensive side for Wisconsin Rapids. Defense pushing through the middle, and West making a breakaway here out to the outside. Pushing through the center, shot on goal, and it's in. Well, within 35 seconds of the game beginning, we have our first goal for Wausau West. Very quick start for the Warriors. Moving right up the field right away, no hesitation. Really pushing through that Rapids defense, as we, noticed it's looking a little thicker in the middle there, but they were able to push through and score. Sending it back up to the field about that 35-yard line. Getting settled and back up. Looking like a turnover for the Red Raiders, back to Wausau West for the throw. Referee calling back the West player. It's very, very easy to push up on that throw-in if you're not careful. Kendall Bannock on the defensive, offensive settle, pushing, West, swinging around, turning over to the other side of the field. Intercepted by Rapids' Claire Mitchell in that central circle area we're looking at, very midfield. Kicking it back out West to that far side. And not quite out of bounds. The lines here can be very difficult to see, especially from this angle, but not quite out of bounds as we are looking at the football fields, the lacrosse, soccer, all sorts of athletics are held here. Throw in for Wisconsin Rapids, Allie Johns, number 12, senior player, 4-year varsity, and Rapids is on the attack until turnover to West. Rapids looking to regain control here. Mitchell with that, pushing back out to Johns. Crossing to the center, great positioning, gust, and up and out. I love this offensive energy that we're seeing from Wisconsin Rapids here. Trying to push through, trying to make it happen, and answer back for that early Wausau West goal. We're seeing a lot on this near side, on the west side of this field. Yes, very contained, mostly to the side, and as we push back in the center, and now out. Offsides call there, yep. Rapids pushing very, very high up on that line to catch that offensive call. That's the danger. Something I experienced with the Wisconsin Rapids team. You know, you really push your defenders up high. You play your goalie up high. You can catch them offsides on, you know, the opposing offense, and it makes for a great setup for your team. Abby Gus on that far side, playing on the left side for Wisconsin Rapids. Real close to those sidelines, and we're out for a throw into Wisconsin Rapids. It looks like Lauren Schillinger on the throw. West pushing back up through that center. You know, they're getting, well, we've seen a lot of passing from West. That was intercepted and kicked back by the Wisconsin Rapids defense. All players, both sides, are getting a little edgy here. Lots of, just out of bounds there. Lots of kicks, lots of, you know, not so much settling, more just reacting, hoping to both sides settle that gameplay down. Fighting for the ball there. West comes away. Easy pass outside, going back in. Everyone's just kind of very clustered midfield, as we said, with the defense pushing up. West on the breakaway, pushing outside. And to the goalkeeper, Aaliyah Leach. This is a great moment for Wisconsin Rapids to kind of reset here and prepare for an offensive attack. Need to get that ball. They need possession of those punts and goal kicks. It's imperative to answer back here. You know, Rapids playing catch up early on in the game. Back out to the goalkeeper, pushing it out, keeping the ball moving, and just out of bounds there.
The Wausau West goal was scored by number 13, Ella Bowen.
Ella Bowen on that goal for West on the 35th second of the game. Breakaway by West again. Not quite catching the goalkeeper out of position, just off the goal mark there, a little too far left. It's almost more difficult with the goalkeeper playing out if you're on a pushed out to the sides and the wings there, because you don't quite have that aim if she isn't in the goal. And it's harder to aim that pass, aim that shot. Goal kick here by Haddo. Right up that center. Hitting a Wausau West player, but Rapids is able to regain control here. Trying to push out to Gust, intercepted, and West is back in possession. Excellent stop. The pass was just a little too far ahead, but that West player was able to regain control, just stop it before going out. Excellent play. Now a goal kick here for Wisconsin Rapids. Very important for them to, you know, think about their next move, settle down, and set up for the attack. We'd like to see Wisconsin Rapids stepping to those balls a little more. As we said, it's very, very important to win those punts, goal kicks. Really on either side is what you're aiming. You want possession of those. And it would just be a little more beneficial to their game if they could, you know, just get there. I think West is really hitting their marks and getting in their spots. And that almost looks like an offsides call. Very dangerous for West there. And unable to bring that back in sooner, just out of bounds. Another goal kick for Wisconsin Rapids. Again, that is Haddo back on defense, Aaliyah Leach in goalkeep. a whole host of Red Raiders there in that back midfield defensive area. Another goal kick up the center, another goal kick to West. West breaking through that defense of Wisconsin Rapids just on that sideline, keeping it in, but, playing that thin line there between the last defender and the line. Number 9, Violet Kelly throwing in for Wausau West, A clear by Claire Mitchell for another throw-in by number 9. Great positioning. No one man-marking number 13, but I'm sure they were very aware of her position. Attempted shot goes all the way to the other sideline. Throw in for Wisconsin Rapids, Lauren Schillinger. Rapids really looking to advance here. We've been playing a lot in their defensive half, really their defensive quarter, which is great for West, and a turnover for Wisconsin Rapids, probably just what they need in this moment to start pushing up the field and looking at that offensive play. Not sure if that throw-in made it in. Either way, it is throw-in for Wausau West. It looks like it did go in and then out based on their positioning, but very thin there. From head to toe, for all of your orthopedic needs, place your trust in Wisconsin River Orthopedics. No matter where your pain is, you'll find advanced, comprehensive orthopedic care and specialized medical feedback on any injury. Learn more at WROinstitute.com. Great punt from Aaliyah Leach, getting across that midfield line, but again, West is hitting those marks, getting to that ball, and, Rapids is passing around, but it's a little frantic, and West is pushing back again. That early goal really gave an advantage to Wausau West, not only in scoring-wise, obviously, but they have a little more relaxation. They already have that lead. They're already, ahead, which means they're in a great position. If they held this score for the rest of the game, that's a win. However, Wisconsin Rapids is down early, and they're looking to come back, so it's a lot more frantic on their end, and understandably so, trying to win back 1-2 goals, looking for the lead there. Haddo trying to clear pass, inadvertent pass to Wausau West. Allie John's trying to keep her on the outside, passing back to number 9, Violet Kelly, and looking for that cross into the center. Number 6, Lily Bijak, passing it through. West trying to swing around here, just regain control, or really keep control, keep composure. Tough clear there for Wisconsin Rapids. Looked like number 16, Abby Gust. As we said before, still a lot of balls in the air, lots of hard kicks, just trying to clear it. Hopefully we can settle down a little here and keep that on the ground, ideally, but, in these situations, the players have to do what they have to do. Something, head coaches might be looking at for practice, just keeping that ball down, keeping it settled. Another throw-in for Wausau West. Again, pushing up. That last one was at about the half. Now they're at, quarter, close to the goal. and another. Not sure how the Wausau West goalkeeper, Grace Kalia, was holding up back there. She hasn't seen a whole lot of action yet, but of course that can change. We are only, hitting the 13th minute of this game out of 80. Still early, still low scoring. Really could be anyone's game. Have not been keeping track of the number of throw-ins for each side and number of total turnovers, but that would be an interesting stat to look at here, because the number of throw-ins that we're seeing is quite a lot. Not ideal, but Rapids is trying to fight back, and Wausau West is using this to their advantage. Pushing up, and yeah, looking for another goal here on Rapids. Rapids regaining control here in the center, trying to send a ball for number 10. That is Bryn Bannock pushing up in that spot. Looks like a substitute for Abby Gust. Nope, Abby is still in the game actually there. We're just seeing two offensive players hitting that back left upper corner. This turf playing field that we have at the Southwood County Stadium isn't new, really. Well, it is new, but it's not a new concept to many of these Valley teams. Many schools and teams are playing on this turf. Something that Rapids has been doing for many years now. However, Wausau West, last time I was up there, was playing on a grass field, which can really just offer a different kind of spin and roll on the ball. And despite that, West is answering very well, I would say, for the most part for this turf. Their passing is hitting where they want it to be for the most part, and they are answering to that ball despite, maybe it's quicker pace, it's different roll. Something that is, it's important for your team to be able to hit different playing fields. Not every grass field is the same, not every turf field is the same. And like I said, especially in the Wisconsin Valley Conference, you're seeing a lot of different playing fields. Aaliyah Leach on a great save there. West with something of a breakthrough. She had to get back on that, and she did. Great save for Wisconsin Rapids, and punt back up the center, hitting those upper offensive players, those forwards, trying to hit that breakthrough. Haddo on the defense, pushing into Bannock, number 7. Sending it back across. Just can't quite get it through these West players. Gus there at the 40-yard line. Pushing through. She's 2 defensive players. Somehow ball hasn't gone out and hasn't really been in control by Wausau West until this pass up. No, in fact, the ball did go out. However, it was held in bounds for longer than I would have expected. Wausau West not quite able to get there. A nice throw in for Wisconsin Rapids, something we haven't seen as much compared to the Wausau West side. And they're pushing back up on that far side. Another throw in. This is great momentum for Wisconsin Rapids. They need to keep this moving, pushing forward, making sure they're hitting their marks and sending their runs. Excellent passing. Off the head, it looked like, of number 10, Kendall Bannock. Fighting in the center. This could be good for Wisconsin Rapids, but cleared out by Wausau West. Looked like an handball by Sydney Meyer, number 8 for Wisconsin Rapids defense. Looked very inadvertent, but, you know, it is one of those things where once it hits your hand, your arm, in the right position, that is a call against you. Right at that midfield, about a yard or so behind the midfield for West. Right in the center, too. Almost kickoff position, which is excellent, especially considering your whole team practically is in front of you, ready to attack that goal. Call by the ref. Not sure if they just weren't ready yet or what that quite was, but just informed that someone got a yellow card. My apologies for missing that. Thank you.
Just like
Yeah.
I saw it in the camera before I actually saw it.
Yes, a yellow will not get you pulled from the field by the ref. You know, your coach might sub you out there, definitely, most likely will, but it's those reds you're trying to watch out for because that will get you in a bad situation. Despite that kick, we're back in the Wausau West defensive half. You know, Rapids still trying to get that breakthrough, get that shot and goal, and in the net. Allie Johns trying to settle there out to Jordan Coder, and then Natalie Haddo for that cross. Clara Mitchell looking to get that ball control, passing it back for Gust, and shot just off. Allie Johns fighting for it there, getting real close to that corner. And great play by Allie, hitting it out of bounds, making sure it went off that Wausau West player for the throw-in. Great field position for the Red Raiders, looking to just center that ball, shot on goal. West here looking, you know, just control, back to the keeper, all the way up past the 35-yard line. West on the offense now, on the attack. It's looking bad position for Wisconsin Rapids. Trying to backpedal, run forward to your own goal is tough. Thankfully, the shot was not on goal, and Leach had time to at least turn around, face the ball. And she has been a goalkeeper for many, many years. Very experienced, you know. It is tough to shoot on her, but goal kick for Wisconsin Rapids. We're seeing a little more out in the wings, which might be beneficial for the Red Raiders. You know, varying thoughts and approaches on your free kicks and where you want things to go. All the way back to the Wausau West goalkeeper, Grace Calillo. We're seeing a stronger, increasing presence of the Wisconsin Rapids offensive team in that West defensive half. However, there are, you know, you have that moment of turnover and we're back in the Rapids defense, but they're staying forward, they're pushing up, looking to, you know, keep that in that upper half, the southern half, really, on this field. Meyer flicking it out on the Wausau West player, pushing up that line, getting that throw-in straight back to West, but Rapids could pull it back here. Out to number 5 on the Wausau West team, and back cross center. Dangerous position. Left-footed shot. Was a gorgeous kick. From my angle, it almost looked like it went in, but just on that left side netting for the Rapids goal. We're seeing a lot more West shots than we are Wisconsin Rapids. And it's difficult once the momentum shifts in favor of one team to get it back if you're the opposing team. Something, you know, in all sports teams, the momentum really controls the game. But Rapids is just climbing and searching and looking for that shift back in their favor. Great stop by goalkeeper Leah Leach, and Rapids is looking to set back up for the offense. Just about to hit the 22nd minute mark of this game. I would say very quickly moving. You know, we're seeing lots of fast-paced plays here, back and forth, really keeping the ball moving, making for a relatively quick game. Metalco in Wisconsin Rapids is one of North America's largest aluminum billet and slab producers. Come get to know Metalco and how their mission, visions, and values set them apart. Find your future job at Metalco and apply online at metalco.com. As we were saying before, our public address announcer said it 82 degrees at kickoff. We had 74 up here. Overall, just a gorgeous, gorgeous day in Wisconsin Rapids. You know, everyone is happy to have that fresh air, warm, you know, we're not quite into summer yet, just in the beginning of May here, but that just springtime feel in the atmosphere. Hardly any clouds in the sky. Gorgeous, gorgeous blue night. And it just really feels great to make it down to the football stadium tonight. And another free kick for Wisconsin Rapids, just at that 41-yard mark. Not quite sure about the width of this soccer field. However, they are playing 120 yards long. Which, let me tell you, when you are running that distance, it feels like 120 yards, that's for sure. Great facility field. As you can see, the quadplex in the back there. Overall, Wisconsin Rapids, you know. Oh, and breakaway by Wausau West. No one ahead of her. And goal. That is the tough part about playing so far up with your defense, with your goalkeepers. No one back to answer for that empty goal. Excellent breakaway by Wausau West. That came in the 24th minute, just at that 23:51 mark. Rapids now down 2 goals, looking to answer back. Lots of time left in the game. Claire Mitchell dribbling up, trying to pass out to Allie Johns, intercepted by number 9, Violet Kelly for the Wausau West Warriors, and now number 18, Maya Rice.
Number 13, Ella Boline.
Number 13, Ella Boline, again on that goal. Now for both goals of the game, she is a sophomore at Wausau West, playing that forward midfield position. Obviously, we're seeing lots of attacking offense from her. 2 goals of this game. Excellent plays on her end. Back to the goalkeeper. Wisconsin Rapids looking to set up, push up, and gain some ball control. Mitchell looking to send the runner up there, number 17, player on the ground, and she's back up. Excellent. It appears after that JV game, the Wausau West team left to get Culvers, and now they're back filling the stands to support their varsity team. Culvers, great pick, you know. Gotta love that. And they're back, which is great. That Rapids defensive line holding tight to the midfield. And another breakaway. They're calling for offsides. No calls made by the ref. And Leah Leach on a great, great save for Wisconsin Rapids. That would have been a goal had she not got that. But now we're looking at a corner kick for Wausau West. First corner of this game. Provides an interesting advantage for the kicking team as they look for potentially their 3rd goal of the game. Wausau West staying central, but a little more pushed out, with Rapids filling in that goal space, looking to create a defensive blockade. Looked like Johns kicking it out. Rapids not getting there to hit that further outside. Back into West. The energy after a corner kick is very chaotic typically, and they're looking to get ahead here, push it back out, spread out on both sides to regain possession and set up. Wausau West coming back with it. Passing around Wisconsin Rapids defense and offense, really. And we're back to the goalkeeper. Rapids using this time to slow it down a little bit. Goalkeeper's thinking about what she wants to do, surveying the field position. That ball went straight to number 5 on our Wausau West team. That excellent settle as well. That's the kind of thing that Rapids is looking to achieve here, but not quite executing. And it's working wonderfully in Wausau West's favor. Infinity Exteriors installing peace of mind, roofing, siding, and windows built to last. Saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors, we can guarantee you quality you can trust. Wausau West has slowed down the ball considerably here in these last few moments of play. Picking up a little here, but I expect it won't quite last. Rapids looking to pass around here, not quite hitting that. And we're back to West. Mitchell guarding number 9, Violet Kelly. Out to 11, Madeline Weller. Passing around, looking for the best opportunities. That's the advantage that West has now, is they can really look around and feel out what they want to pursue rather than just taking that first opportunity for an offensive attack. Time is a great advantage to have in your side here in this ball game. Another shot on goal and another save by Leah Leach for Wisconsin Rapids. Goalkeeping is a very, very hard and tasking position on both sides. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the skill that our Wausau West goalkeeper has as much as our Wisconsin Rapids goalkeeper. However, on both sides, it's very important to, not only have the agility and just the movement and knowledge and idea of where the ball is, but also just the fearlessness to go down, to dive, all of those activities that you don't really see on that main playing field. It's unique to the goalkeeping position typically. Number 2, Natalie Haddo, throwing in for Wisconsin Rapids, about more or less 30-yard line, 35-yard line, pushing up in that second half quarter for Wisconsin Rapids, looking for an offensive attack here. Substitutions in and out on both sides, and the ball is back in play. Allie Johns boxing out the Wausau West defensive men there. Shot more or less on goal, right to the goalkeeper. And again, West just looking to use that time advantage in their favor. Small passes to your defensive men by the goalkeeper, allows that dribble, that setup, rather than kicking it and just hoping no one gets in your way. Sent back up by Wisconsin Rapids, rolling and out of bounds. Marshfield Dairy Fest is May 30th and 31st. Check out visitmarshfield.com for all the details. See you in Marshfield for a fun-filled weekend at Dairy Fest. Doesn't that just sound wonderful? I think I might have to make the trip up to Marshfield for Dairy Fest. Clear by Wausau West, just trying to keep it out of that goal penalty box there, which they have been successfully doing for most of this game. Still in the defensive half for Wausau West. We're seeing the turnovers and the throw-ins in Wausau West's favor on Wisconsin Rapids. However, we are still in that offensive half for Rapids, which, I guess you'll take what you can get. And they're still pushing up. Sent back by West. Again, goalkeeper Leah Leach playing very far up, 35-yard line. Almost won in a battle by Wausau West. Would have been a very dangerous position. I have seen Wisconsin Rapids play similar formations as to this. It's something not necessarily expected by the team in these past couple of years, but something, fans have grown to recognize. I have seen this ran with more of an offensive player taking the place of the goalkeeper. Makes for an interesting approach when your goalkeeper is on the bench and you have, a very fast offensive player filling in that position. But similar format with that one back and everybody on that half or above. with that, we actually haven't seen too many offensive calls on Wausau West despite this high formation for Wisconsin Rapids. You know, West is trying to adapt and not fall back into that trap. And again, it's something that they have probably seen in these past couple of years. But nonetheless, it is a shock, I think, when you come to the field and the opposing goalkeeper is playing 30 yards, 40 yards away from their goal. Whereas we've seen, you know, the West goalkeeper, she'll move up as the ball goes down the other end, but she's, you know, staying back in what you would imagine a typical goalkeeper position. Save there, you know, again, another relatively short pass out to your wing back. Building up from the back and pushing forward as opposed to just sending it out. You know, two different approaches we're seeing defensively here. Wausau West back on that offense. I feel like it's been a little while since we've seen the more organized offensive attack such as this. 3 offenders up, but the shot on goal was, you know, up and out, not quite hitting that ideal target. Whitetail Properties Real Estate is your premier hunting land, farmland, and recreational land broker. If you are looking to buy or sell, Central Wisconsin agents are Brian and Evan Roosh at whitetailproperties.com. Kick for Wisconsin Rapids. Sending it up, but received by a Wausau West player. Unfortunately, that is what we're seeing a lot of this game. And it would be great to be able to see Wisconsin Rapids connect to those long passes and really make something of these free kicks and hard hit balls. Not sure quite what the final score of the game was, but it looked like the junior varsity team, they played here on this field right before this game. Wisconsin Rapids took that one, I believe, 4-0 against West, so win for the Red Raiders in that regard. Very important clear there. Still in a little bit of a nervous zone for Wisconsin Rapids, but trying to keep it out, keep it away from that kind of central 18 on that goal. As we said before, Wisconsin Rapids is 1-2 in the conference and 3-7 overall, while West is 2-0 in the conference and an even 5-5 in total games. This is their 11th game overall and Wisconsin Rapids third conference and West third and Wisconsin Rapids fourth conference appearance this year. Have Quality Plus Printing design and print for you. Invitations, tickets, booklets, banners, labels, postcards, programs, and so much more, all done with amazing custom work, quick turnaround times, and awesome customer service. Quality Plus Printing, getting your words out. Right downtown on 8th Street, Wisconsin Rapids. Great people over at Quality Plus Printing. This is Wisconsin Rapids game, but Phil Hartley is a friend of our friends at Assumption. Great community business there. Fight in that central, both teams fighting for that ball, dueling. West pushing out, but not quite sure of it yet, pushing back farther and farther, and player on the ground call for West against Rapids, free kick right at that 30-yard line. Something interesting about playing on a football field is that every yard is marked out. So if you're trying to play, you're supposed to be 10 yards back from all free kicks, but some fields you maybe 8 or 9. Cannot do that on a football field because refs don't even have to mark it out themselves. Which obviously we had, plenty of room on that kick, but it's an interesting thought there. Another shot just hitting that outside, not quite of the goal, but right side, just a little wide. A little too close to that end line. What a hard angle to hit. but we're still seeing Wausau West on that constant offensive attack. They're getting hungrier and hungrier, I think, for that third goal. We've seen them slow it down, speed it up, and it looks like they're just looking for more here as the game develops. Bryn Bannock up there battling for the Wisconsin Rapids Raiders against that Wausau West defensive. We're seeing a solid 3 to 4 players back in that kind of defensive line, holding strong. I would say it's similar to Wisconsin Rapids as they're holding 3 in their defensive line. However, Rapids is playing, at the half line, trying to contain it to just one half of the field. Quickly approaching halftime here at this game. About 2 minutes left, which we'll see how that plays out with any stoppages. But dangerous play, not able to get it out. Wausau West breakthrough, no one in goal. Another shot and another made goal for Wausau West. That came in at the 38th minute, almost exactly at 38 minutes in, 37:55. We will get a name and a number here for you shortly. That makes goal number 3 in this half for Wausau West. We're seeing just dangerous plays for Wisconsin Rapids, not able to get back and defend that goal.
Number 13, Ella Bowling.
Yes, that is, again, number 13, Ella Bowling. That's what I suspected on that play. She has scored all 3 goals of this game, all 3 goals for Wausau West. She's able to hit that edge and get ahead, draw the defenders out, draw the goalkeeper out, and then just get ahead, keep in front and pushing, and scoring goals. It's a lot of what we're seeing tonight. It'll be interesting to see if Wisconsin Rapids looks at a formation change at halftime during their meeting, or if they're going to keep this. I think this is typically their preferred expected formation at this point, but we'll see if there's any changes formation-wise in the second half. Wausau West playing again a little faster, using that momentum of their third goal. They could slow it down, could just pass around, which they are doing, but it's at a faster rate. That, suggests they are still hungry for more here against the Red Raiders. Sideline clear by the West defense and a throw-in for Wisconsin Rapids. Ritchie Funeral Home has been serving family after family in Nakusa and Wisconsin Rapids since 1957. Find the very best in personal service at Ritchie Funeral Home or find them online at ritchiefuneralhome.com. 1 minute left in the half. Ball back at the goalkeeper, 35-yard line. Trying to send up, hitting that center position, number 3 for the Red Raiders. But again, just not quite able to set up maybe as they'd like. Wausau West constantly invading the passing and the plays there. Natalie Haddo on that throw-in. Trying to send it up the line for Allie Johns, but not quite. Sent by Wausau West, number 10. Well, getting to the ball there, not maybe where they intended. And West is back in that offensive setup. Whew, could have been a dangerous play there. We're seeing offense and goalkeeper getting real close. Overall, Rapids was able to win that one in the final 5 seconds of this half. Wow, it has been all Wausau West Warriors in this first half of this conference matchup. Score is 0-3. Wausau West leading. All 3 goals scored by number 13, sophomore Ella Bolian. It's been an interesting half. Quick moving, and it'll be interesting to see how Rapids tries to answer back in their approach in the second half and what West is looking to do with their 3-0 lead. We look forward to bringing you more coverage of this game after these sponsors.
Hi, I'm Shai from Next Step Prosthetics. 5 years ago, we opened our practice to provide life-changing prosthetics that are both comfortable and functional.
I would definitely recommend Shai.
Shai is very compassionate, caring.
We've grown to serve patients throughout Wisconsin. We want to thank them, their families, and providers who have trusted us on the journey.
Go to Next Step, because it's going to change your life.
Why wait another day? Call to set up a free, no-obligation evaluation. Let us take the next step together towards a better life.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now. Are you tired of being a boring old tree, bird, or mythical war hero? Find the right job for you at Express Employment. Stop today and discuss positions that fit your abilities and qualifications, leading you to the perfect job. Always local, always strategically selected to match your skill set. Perfect job out there. Let Express Employment professionals help you find it. In Wausau, Stevens Point, Medford, and Marshfield. Find jobs and apply online at expresspros.com.
Hello, it's Mayor Lois T. Strake asking you to join us for Marshfield's Dairy Fest. Dairy, great time. The fun starts with me on Friday, May 30th at the Mayor's Breakfast, 5:30 to 9:30 a.m. At 5 p.m., head to Columbia Park for family-friendly entertainment, and later join free live music at the Wenzel Family Plaza. Saturday, May 31st, the parade starts at 11 o'clock, and Wenzel Family Plaza will host fun activities. In the afternoon, the Pie and Ice Cream Social is at the Upham Mansion, and Nuts Deep 2 will be hosting an outdoor beer garden with live music. For more information, go to visitmarshfield.com.
Ski's Meat Market is your locally owned premier meat market filled with so many delicious favorites featuring hundreds of varieties of bratwurst, chicken, pork, steak, and so much more. No matter what you're looking for, everything you'll find at Ski's Meat Market is always fresh with so many local gems including pizzas, salsas, deli meats, and a variety of homemade dips, pasta salads, veggies, loaded baked potatoes, and drinks. Ski's is a one-stop shop for all your culinary needs. They're always adding new flavors and specialty products. Ski's Meat Market on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point. Their quality is worth the stop.
The auto service specialist at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service can change your oil, fix your brakes, align your vehicle, make that check engine light go away, and more. Great service from great people at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
Welcome back to the Southwood County Stadium at Lincoln High School. Just a little first half recap for you. Wausau West is up 3-0 on the Wisconsin Rapids Red Raiders. All 3 goals scored by sophomore number 13 Ella Bolian. Again, strong offensive presence by Wausau West. We've seen a little bit of back and forth here, and an interesting formation chosen by the Wisconsin Rapids Red Raiders with that singular goalkeeper back and holding 4 at that midline. You know, it yielded some positive results when Wisconsin Rapids got that offsides call in their favor. However, it has also resulted in goals scored against them. Something for Wisconsin Rapids to consider as, you know, we're soon approaching the second half of the game. You know, West is likely having a very different conversation. We see high fives around the circle. You know, 2 different approaches to this ball game. You know, with that 3-goal deficit Wisconsin Rapids is facing and that 3-goal benefit Wausau West has. We're seeing the importance and presence of time in this game, speeding up the ball, slowing it down, and just having, you know, that point advantage gives you time, and it all just kind of fuels each other. We look forward to bringing you more coverage of this game after these commercials brought to you by ShedsDelivered.com.
Hi, I'm Josh Barks, owner of Infinity Exteriors. 9 out of 10 brand new roofs can't pass a simple manufacturer warranty inspection, meaning 9 out of 10 brand new roofs have no warranty. Infinity operates on principles instilled in my Marine Corps service: honor, courage, and commitment. Infinity is meticulous craftsmanship, unbeatable quality, and always at the best price. Infinity buys more, pays less, passing those savings directly to you. We're booking new roofs, siding, and windows. Call today.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
Take your valuable possessions from outdoors to indoors with help from ShedsDelivered.com. It's your one-stop shop for sheds, barns, cabins, garages, greenhouses, chicken coops, and hunting blinds, all crafted by skilled Amish artisans. Headquartered in Loyal, Rod and April make it easy. Just visit ShedsDelivered.com to design your perfect structure. With short lead times and free delivery and installation, Sheds Delivered is the smart choice for outdoor storage. That's ShedsDelivered.com. Go today.
At Nicolet Bank, we believe that our hometown communities are the backbone of what makes Wisconsin special. From Crivets to Manitowoc and Algoma to Grand Chute, you see a thriving community with Nicolet Bank working as a partner, acting not as a corporation, but a community. When we serve together with local entrepreneurs and leaders, great things happen. That is our guiding principle. A strong and successful hometown means a strong and successful Wisconsin. We are proud to be a part of that. Nicolet Bank. Real people, real conversations.
Does your roof need attention? Don't replace it, restore it with Seamless Commercial Roofing. Our process is guaranteed and a fraction of the cost of replacement with no downtime. When your roof needs attention, call Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield.
Welcome to Bruce Orthodontics, where we provide comprehensive orthodontic care to patients of all ages. We are now accepting new patients, and we accept most insurances.
Orthodontics is much more than just a job to me. It is my passion and my life. What separates us from other orthodontists is constant continuing education for myself and my staff, compassion, and dedication. Here at Bruce Orthodontics, we change lives one smile at a time. I'd love the opportunity to meet you and transform your smile.
Call us to set up your free consultation today.
After a couple years of this, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That's where Midstate Technical College comes in. Got a passion for helping people? Maybe you like cars. Are you into science? Are you good with computers? No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options. Stop getting by and level up today.
At Ridgetop, we are your trusted, local, affordable exterior renovations expert. Isn't that right, Bo?
Exactly, especially when we are working on someone's biggest investment.
Can you give us an example, Bo?
Well, there was this house. We replaced the roofing, siding, and windows. Then, they left a 5-star review.
One of our thousands of 5-star reviews?
Exactly.
For your free, no-obligation estimate, call us today or go to ridgetopexteriors.com.
Welcome back to this game between the Wausau West Warriors and the Wisconsin Rapids Raiders. As we've discussed, and you can see on your screen, Wausau West is up 3-0 on the Raiders as we are about to begin kickoff here in the second half shortly. Wausau West taking the field and Rapids walking on now. When plumbing goes wrong, where can you turn? The answer is simply Williams Plumbing and Heating. For new construction or remodel and working with residential or commercial, you can put your trust in Williams Plumbing and Heating in Wisconsin Rapids. Very excited to see where the second half of the game goes, particularly for Wisconsin Rapids. It looks like a little bit of a formation shift here, starting out in this first part of the half. Excited to see what their approach is and trying to answer back for those 3 Wausau West goals. West pushing up right away. Kickoff was for Wisconsin Rapids, but West regains control, is pushing forward. Number 4 on this near side, now number 11 pushing center, trying to get the best position for a goal, for a shot, really anything that would, continue this momentum in favor of Wausau West. Losing sight of the ball, possession of the ball, both teams. Rapids trying to get it through, not quite being able to get through those Wausau West players. We're seeing, high energy as this half begins. A little bit of a frantic approach, but waiting to see how they settle in, even with this high speed, high energy approach. It'll be very interesting to see how these next 40 minutes of this game goes. West pushing forward, trying to break that line, and saved by goalkeeper Aaliyah Leach. Something we discussed a little bit of the broadcast, it is senior night here in Wisconsin Rapids. There are 5 seniors on the Wisconsin Rapids team. 6 seniors actually. And we'll take a moment here in a little bit to run through each of these seniors and actually their future plans, after this school year, after this spring soccer season. Interesting, Mitchell goes down, number 3, goes down. Seemed, obviously not on purpose, but she was able to use that to regain possession of the ball. John's up on that offensive line, trying to get a shot, couldn't quite get it. Pressure behind by the Wausau West defenseman. Very exciting play for Wisconsin Rapids, hoping they can keep running that. It looks like a corner kick for Wisconsin Rapids. Excellent news for their team as they're looking to score here early on in this second half. Number 2, Natalie Haddow taking that corner kick. Rapids a little bit closer to that end line than we saw West in this similar corner kick position. Trying to turn and get a shot off, not quite able to get there, pushing back out Wausau West as John's battling off on her, deflected. No, it was for Johns, throwing it back in, trying to keep this high energy and momentum pushing in their favor. Bannock battling there, and player on the ground for Wausau West. It looks like she'll be all right there, but a call in favor for West and a kick here. About the 10-yard line, right to Wausau West. Kicking it up, trying to send that run for West, pushing ahead offensively. 2 defenders there for the Red Raiders, trying to just block up those plays and keep them from, executing what they're looking to accomplish here. Getting back to senior night, let's run down the list here. Number 1 in goal, Aaliyah Leach. Great goalkeeper long-term for Wisconsin Rapids. About the past 3 years, she's been playing in goal at the varsity level. She will be attending UWSP this fall for music education. Aaliyah's been very involved in the orchestra department at Wisconsin Rapids, and it's great to go see her, pursue these passions that she loves. Next, we have Allie Johns, as we've seen a lot in this game, defensive and offensively. Number 12, she will be attending the University of Wisconsin lacrosse for exercise and sports science. Allie, 4-year varsity player here for Wisconsin Rapids. Great asset to the team. As we've seen really on both ends, particularly, on these offensive attacks, but she's also there in the defensive mode, answering for Wisconsin Rapids. Similarly, going to lacrosse, we have Sophie Fight, number 19, who will be studying business and management at UW La Crosse. Yeah, Sophie, long-term soccer player, great role on the soccer team as she's supporting her players, making plays. Great player to have on the team. Her older sister, Marcy Fight, played here for several years, who is now attending the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Next, on a similar note, we have Abby Gust, number 16, who will be attending the University of Wisconsin-Madison for mechanical engineering. Similar to Allie, Abby has been playing on the varsity team for 4 years now. Great speed, great offensive attack, always on the go. Yeah, Abby is very fast and that's a goal for Wausau West on the attack. Is that number 13 again? Possibly. Yeah, like I said, West was hungry for more. They, 3 wasn't enough for them. They want to go for that 4th, and we'll even say, their approach here. They wanted a goal. That's for sure, and they got it.
Number 13.
That is number 13 again. Number 13, Ella Bolian, sophomore for Wausau West, scoring 100% of the goals tonight for both teams. Even with that formation change by Wisconsin Rapids, she's still getting there, getting ahead, putting those shots exactly where she wants them. Rapids, really, you can tell they are displeased, with this 4-goal deficit. They are playing with a passion and a ferocity that we've seen building through this game, and it's really coming out here. Defensive dribbling up the middle, number 8. Looking for a pass, something to push this into the offensive. Abby Gus, great kind of outer foot pass. Unfortunately to a Wausau West player, but she kicked it out, and now it is back to Wisconsin Rapids. Despite the goal being scored in favor of Wausau West, Rapids is looking like a momentum boost here. Looks like a discrepancy there on the time clock.
It hasn't moved since the goal.
Yes, it appeared that the time on the scoreboards and all the signage here at the complex hadn't started since the goal kick. 46:09 is what our ref is telling us for time. Ball back in possession there. Lots of pressure on the back there by 16, for 16. Defensively, Wausau West defending Abby Gus there, number 16 for Wisconsin Rapids. Like I said, lots of, let's say ferocity, for Wisconsin Rapids. They are, I said earlier, they're kind of clawing and looking for a comeback here, but this is where we're seeing it with the passion and the grit they're trying to play with, and intensity, we haven't quite seen even in this fast-paced game. Continuing with senior night, left off with Abby Gus attending the University of Wisconsin-Madison for mechanical engineering. We also have a future Badger, number 23, Jordan Coder, who is looking to study biology and I believe Spanish at UW-Madison. Lots of Badgers, very exciting. And finally, rounding off our senior night shout out, we have number 25, Natalie Sparhawk, who will be attending St. Thomas for, I believe, business administration. So lots of bright futures ahead of these senior players. Wonderful soccer stars. Senior player Aaliyah Leach, goalkeeper, getting that ball back up. We're seeing pass. Now we're up, going on that end line for Wausau West. The ball moved very quickly in a very short span of time there. I will say senior night is a little bittersweet for everyone. Particularly, I played with many of these girls for a long time. So it's great to see them on this night, celebrating their futures and excellent skills on the ball field. Number 9, Warren Schillinger, looking to settle the ball here, but get it off her foot quick for a pass back to that defense. Couldn't quite connect there. And now we have a throw-in for number 16, Wausau West. Looking up the line, not quite able to get it exactly where she wants it. Yes, just a certain tenacity from both sides. But Rapids is really, really trying to push here and get ahead. We've seen number 13, Veronica Candler, about that 46-47 mark, who's been an aggressive in a very positive way in many of these plays for Wisconsin Rapids. She's getting in there. As we see now, she has time and space. Wausau West defender coming on couldn't quite get it in the position that she wanted, but we're seeing lots of her in a defensive role, trying to facilitate these offensive plays while stopping the Wausau West team from advancing. Substitutions in for Wausau West. We have 3 players coming in, 3 players going out. It looked like a little bit like a forward, a midfield, and maybe a defensive mid. So mostly offensive changes, but a little bit on the defensive side. Shouldn't change much for the Warriors as they have the throw in here. And again for Wausau West down the line. Foul on Wisconsin Rapids. Looks like Veronica Candler. She's not quite sure about that call. A little disagreement. It did look a little rough, but again, we are quite far. The ref says, it's a foul, so Wausau West will be kicking. Great field position on that 20-yard line, 30 yards away from the goal. If that got down just a little bit farther, that would have been an excellent goal for Wausau West. However, just a bit above, a little bit out. Wisconsin Rapids is grateful for that. Great strength on the kick. Beautiful carry, just a little bit too high to hit that net. Unfortunate out for Wisconsin Rapids, throw in for West. More substitutions for Wausau. 2 in, 2 out. Possibly another defender and another midfield forward type player. Can't quite see all the numbers up here, apologize, but it was Olivia Meyer throwing in for Wausau West. They're looking to push into that center position and foul, possibly offsides on Wausau West. And Rapids gets a free kick here now, which is really just what you want. That 52nd minute. A little bit behind the 10-yard line. Econ Electric is your local residential, commercial, and industrial electrical service provider. Since 1970, Wisconsin Rapids and surrounding area have turned to Econ Electric. That's Econ Electric in Wisconsin Rapids. If Steve was here, he'd tell you about his brother that works at Econ. However, I'm here and I'll get to tell you I know the lovely folk at Econ, and I could not say better things about all of them. Great company here in Wisconsin Rapids. West holding position in that central third of the field now, pushing out to the side. We hear coach saying, you have time, and that they do. They have time and space here. Rapids just isn't getting in their way enough, really, is what it is. Little bit of a breakaway here possessively, but back to West. They have time. They have 4 goals ahead, and they're just spacing out in a way that Rapids can't quite catch up to, which gives them the benefit of passes. It's a lot easier to pass when you don't have the pressure on you. Lots of things in favor for Wausau West tonight, unfortunately for Wisconsin Rapids. West is making a good game tonight. All 4 goals again scored by our sophomore, number 13, Ella Bolian. Remarkable, really. I'm not sure if this is her second year on varsity. I would think with the performance she's shown tonight, it likely is her second year on varsity, but, excellent demonstration there by Wausau West. Goal kick being taken by keeper Aaliyah Leach. We've seen a little bit of back and forth there between Haddo and Leach. on these goal kicks. Primarily Leach, though, I would say. She's trying to push it out, got it about the 20-yard line, met by a Wausau West player. Again, I maybe have harped on it enough, but Rapids just isn't hitting that spot. You know, anticipating those kicks, those punts, all of that. They need to be in that spot. You know, keeper needs to find where her players are, but, you know, field players also need to anticipate that spot and be there for the settle to hold possession, and we just haven't been seeing necessarily enough of that. John's putting in a lot of work for Wisconsin Rapids. Unfortunately, it is another throw-in for Wausau West. Number 16, again, Olivia Meyer, excuse me. You know, Rapids passing on that line. She thought it was going to go out and had number 17 not quite hit it in the way that she did. That's Evie Bowman. You know, Rapids really could have took that and ran with it. Substitution for Wausau West. It looks like Olivia Meyer going out. A little bit of a shift here for West. Have to wait for her mostly off the field and signal back into play. Rapids really trying to block up in that around that 20-yard line defensively, you know, hold that position and kind of just block West from really, you know, penetrating their defensive line. And then ball is met by goalkeeper Aaliyah Leach. That is what we like to see from Wisconsin Rapids. Natalie Sparhawk met the ball and stopped it. You know, couldn't quite do a whole lot with it with the defensive pressure by Wausau West, but that is the kind of anticipation and assertion we want to see by Wisconsin Rapids. Passing around, you know, back and forth, trying to just open up those opportunities and those spaces for Wisconsin Rapids. Really just keep the ball from West, you know, any method possible. Really looking at that far eastern sideline. Battling back and forth here. Wisconsin Rapids trying to keep that pressure and just that presence, you know, always on West. Dribbling up through the legs, it looked like, of number 7, Kendall Bannock for Wisconsin Rapids. The more you can dribble, really, in this situation, the better it is, I think, for West to take up that time, but really to gain that space and that advancement on the field. Lots of footwork, and lots of dribbling, as well as excellent passes being connected there. Wisconsin Rapids trying to save another breakaway by West. That is a goal kick for the Red Raiders. Just like these players bring their best to the field, Ridgetop Exteriors brings top-tier performance to your home. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors, Ridgetop Exteriors has the winning strategy to protect your home. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Evie Bowman there battling Natalie Sparhawk, joining her on that offensive front. Haven't seen a whole lot of senior Natalie Sparhawk here in this game, but she is a refreshing presence in this last few moments of play in this 58th minute of the game. Bowman pushing ahead. You know, it's all her. John is trying to support in that central position. It was all just Evie and 3 Wausau West defensive men. That was, you know, even with a stoppage at the sideline. Even with that stoppage and that throw-in, it is important for Wisconsin Rapids to gain that field positioning. Throw-in, it appears, by left back Lauren Schillinger to keep this momentum up. Wausau West answering back, really trying to break away while most of the Wisconsin Rapids defense is up on the field, you know, using their speed and just their readiness for the next play to get ahead here. Culligan Water specializes in all of your water softener, drinking water, and water filtration systems. You can count on Culligan to keep your water pure and healthy with unparalleled service and convenient delivery options. In that back corner, John's letting the ball roll out for a throw-in by Lauren Schillinger. Lauren Schillinger, younger sister to Emma Schillinger, graduate last year, who also played many years for the Wisconsin Rapids varsity soccer team. Yes, lots of sisters and generational players here, and exciting to see their performance on the field. Very exciting and important save by Aaliyah Leach there. A flurry of defensive players for Wisconsin Rapids, but ultimately the goalkeeper, asserts herself, comes through, gets the ball, and plays it out for Wisconsin Rapids. Takes quite a bit of leadership and just view of the field. Really, there's a lot of things that go into goalkeeping. You want to have the confidence and the leadership, assertion to kind of command your field in a sense. Rapids trying to clear back out. Again, the intensity and the pace is picking back up here in this ball game. Still 4-0, Wausau West leading. All 4 goals, again, scored by sophomore Ella Bolian. Rapids looking to answer back here. Allie Johns pushing up into that corner, looking to cross it, hopefully into the center. Met by a Wausau West player. Still, again, important field position for Rapids if they can bring up their players out of the midfield into an attacking position. The advantage of the previous formation we saw for Wisconsin Rapids is that all of their players were in that offensive attack, an offensive half, where now, they're a lot more spread out through the field trying to not all play defense and offense at once. However, it's playing, it's an adjustment and possibly a disadvantage when Rapids is up and you have just, say, Johns and Gust on the offense and you have no one else, to get up there. Whereas in that first half, you pretty much had everyone attacking, which lended itself to support in different offensive opportunities. West passing around in the center. Shot on goal right to a goalkeeper, Leah Leach, and pushing back out for Wisconsin Rapids. 20 minutes left in the game, as we heard by, I believe, assistant coach Jake Hintz for Wisconsin Rapids. ShedsDelivered.com is your one-stop shop for sheds, barns, cabins, garages, greenhouses, chicken coops, and hunting blinds, all crafted by skilled Amish artisans. See their display lots in Marshfield, Medford, and Wisconsin Rapids and get more information at ShedsDelivered.com. Whistle called by our center referee, and free kick for Wisconsin Rapids. Lauren Schillinger, not only Haddow taking the kick, Lauren Schillinger setting it up for him. Clear by Wisconsin Rapids defense, back up to Wausau West. However, throw in here for Rapids, still looking to keep pushing, and if anything, just gain field position. Hoping to draw, their midfield and all offensive players into that offensive half for support and opportunities there. Ski's Meat Market is your locally owned premier meat market filled with more than 30 flavors of brats, along with chicken, steaks, beef, deli meats, local and seasonal favorites, and more. It's all at Ski's Meat Market on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point. It looks like this Thursday, Stevens Point will be playing Wisconsin Rapids here at the Southwood County Stadium. While Friday, May 16th, Wausau East will host Wisconsin Rapids up there in the Wausau area. For Wausau West, we'll look at their upcoming schedule, where it appears they will be playing at home against Marshfield on Thursday, and then a game at Hudson on Friday. This Friday, the 10th, which is actually a Saturday. So they'll be playing at Hudson on Saturday and at home against Marshfield on Thursday. Zaleski Sports providing you lots of coverage on so many different games this week. We have soccer tonight, softball yesterday, baseball later this week, all across the central Wisconsin area. Always looking to provide you with great coverage on these high school athletes. I will be back, not here on the Wood Trust Bank field, however, across the way at the Wisconsin Rapids Southwood County Quadplex for baseball, Wisconsin Rapids baseball, on Thursday against Marshfield at about 5 o'clock. Looking forward to that. As we're seeing some Rapids defenders backpedal, trying to regain ball control and not let this number 3, Wausau East, gain control. Schillinger really was able to push up, get a clear on that sideline, but keep the ball, pushing it forward, farther and farther away from the goal, which ultimately is what you want. Now with Wausau West pushing that throw in much farther up the line, crossing the half. We'll see a number here. It appears number 9, Violet Kelly, defensive player again for Wausau West on that throw-in. Number 9 for Wisconsin Rapids, Lauren Schillinger, really fighting their possible frustration as she, defends against this Wausau West team. About 15 minutes left of this soccer game. Still Rapids trailing 4 to Wausau West. As that ball is just off the end line, and it is a corner kick. She couldn't quite save it. Corner kick for Wisconsin Rapids. Great opportunity here for the Red Raiders. Mutual of Wausau Insurance, protecting homes, farms, and businesses since 1875. Visit mutualofwausau.com to find an agent near you. Corner kick here, headed out and over by a Wausau West player, and we are for another corner for Wisconsin Rapids here, same position. And lots of similar setups in that goal zone on both sides. A little farther out, about 10 yards off the goal on that end line. Great setup by Wisconsin Rapids' Natalie Haddow. Rapids trying to regain possession here. We have some defensive players back in this situation as opposed to earlier in this ball game. Rapids passing and pushing forward despite, a little bit of a clear there on their corner kick. Still trying to keep it in Wausau West's defensive half. Next up, prosthetics, providing prosthetic and orthotics throughout central Wisconsin. Take your next step and contact them today. Ball back for Schillinger, trying to keep it in front of her and keep it out away from that offensive Wausau West player. Throw in here for number 19 on the Wausau West team. Passing it through, West is able to take their time as we've, talked about here. I'll say their passing game just appears to be a little bit stronger than Rapids here tonight, which, might be surprising considering the difference in playing fields as to what Wausau West might be used to, as opposed to this very fast turf. But, that's the kind of approach you need in a conference like this when you're playing on different turf styles, field styles. The ball rolls differently between turf and grass, but it rolls very differently on different grass fields. So it's important to be, adaptable and understanding of, where you're playing and what you're doing. Throwing for Wausau West deep into that corner on the Wisconsin Rapids defensive half. Looks about, 10, 12 yards away from the goal, but not that end zone. As we discussed, dimensions a little bit different here. West pushing, intensity building a little bit. Shot on goal and in for Wausau West. That is the 5th goal of the night. Yep, Wausau West constantly hungry for more. No, I apologize. It appears it was not a goal. Possibly an offsides call. No goal for Wausau West. That, right? Yes, and it is now off the scoreboard at the Southwood County Stadium. Must have been an offsides call, which, very, very fortunate for Wisconsin Rapids. Hopefully, momentum isn't swinging in favor of Wausau West, because while the point doesn't count, that is a goal scored on your goalie and your opposing goalie, and it might be a little bit of, disheartening for that defensive team. Aaliyah Leach saves that ball, a little bit bouncy there on the turf, taking a little bit of time setting up, and she can hit her punts typically around that 40, 45-yard line. Covering a lot of space with just that kick. Battling over there on that far sideline, still in. Rapids pushing ahead. All 4 offensive players pushing in that line, looking for the attack. Couldn't quite get that ball placement perfect. But, anything is really good for Wisconsin Rapids, trying to just take more shots, get in that offensive mindset, and continue pushing forward. Goal kick for Wausau West, another short, goalie to wing back, only a few yards away, really. Keeping it tight, as we said, so they can build from the back and push forward, whereas Rapids, launches to that midfield offensive team and bypassing the defense typically on punts and kicks. Different approaches, as you'll have. Kicking the ball around here, getting a little bit more, up in the air, a little less contained, and I don't want to say thought out, but, just a lot of reaction as we're sending the ball through the air. Lauren Schindler able to beat out West to, keep that ball in front of her, away from the goal, and call by that sideline referee for Wausau West at about the 10-yard line. A little bit of a tumble there, duel between the two teams. That is tough for Wisconsin Rapids, being that close to the goal line. We'll see what kind of defensive approach they have here. About 4, 5 players building that wall. Typical defensive approach, I would say. You want to kind of blockade there and defend. Well, that was incredible for Wisconsin Rapids. Just barely missed that crossbar heading over the top of that goal. It looked like from up here that it went in. Really just a stop and stare kind of moment that didn't go in. Very fortunate for Wisconsin Rapids. Barely missed that crossbar just over the top of that goal. And a kick now from, not Haddo, but the other defensive player for Wisconsin Rapids. Straight to Wausau West. Not ideal, but Rapids is able to regain now. Defense in offensive perspective, pushing on Allie Johns there, trying to pressure her into making a move. Again, lots of the ball, landing in the air, bouncing along the turf. There's an urgency here on both sides. West didn't get the goal. They just missed that shot. They, don't need to prove something with 4 goals already scored, but, they're looking for that sense of completion there after those 2 missed goals, in a sense. And Rapids is still trying to look to score here to save themselves from a shutout this evening. Wausau West pushing forward again, crossing passes, and just off that goal. many shots for Wausau West tonight. Rapids Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling places your comfort at home as their highest priority. Not too hot, not too cold. That's the plan with Rapids Sheet Metal in Wisconsin Rapids. Give them a call or find them online at rapidssheetmetal.com. And another goal kick for Wisconsin Rapids. For all of your tire and auto service needs, look to Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Great deals on tires that fit your needs is a sure thing to get back on the road. That's Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Battling a little bit on that far sideline, trying to keep it in. Wisconsin Rapids pushing forward, looking ahead, turning their hips, send that ball ahead of them. But it is being met by Wausau West players as they are just in the right place at the right time, right positioning here in this game. And their passing game has been remarkable. However, that is an offsides call for West. It's interesting now we've gotten just as many, if not more, calls on that offensive play now that Rapids has moved out of what you could call an offensive trap formation. You know, they're playing more traditional and not as high up, and they are now getting more calls, which is a little bit of, maybe opposite of what you'd expect here, but it works out in their favor. Battling around there, Wausau West and Wisconsin Rapids, pushing out to that sideline, trying to keep it in. West sending it to the center, this time met by a Wisconsin Rapids player. And back to our goalie, Aaliyah Leach. Fill your home with the best from home furniture. Sofas, sectionals, beds, recliners, lighting, tables, rugs, and so much more. Stop by and kick your feet up and find the perfect fit for your home. Home Furniture, with locations on Grand Avenue in Wisconsin Rapids and Post Road in Plover. Sent far up the line by Wisconsin Rapids, drifting slightly back center, passing back to the goalkeeper for Wausau West. She didn't take her time and settle that ball before kicking it out. Just, a one-touch back out. And now a throw-in for Wisconsin Rapids. Again, all about the field positioning. They're just looking to get something on West as they have 4.5 minutes left in this ball game. Key Savings Bank is banking made easy. From personal banking and wealth management to mortgages, loans, and business banking, with locations in Wisconsin Rapids and Rome, you'll always have a helpful, knowledgeable staff with a smile. Bank local with Key Savings Bank in Wisconsin Rapids. More substitutions for Wausau West. It looked like 1 in, 1 out, as we're winding down here in this game tonight. Another short goal kick and out for Wausau West. Maida Custom Apparel specializes in providing quality decorated apparel, including corporate, casual, team uniforms, and promotional items to sporting goods and awards. Find just what you need to keep you looking great and learn more at maidacustom.com. That's MADA custom.com. Wausau West, consistent with those short plays back in goal and that final defensive line, keeping it tight and building up pretty consistently with every opportunity that they have. Rapids trying to push through into the defense. Not quite able to make something out of it, and West is trying to answer back. Let Carrie Van Aert with State Farm be your go-to for all your insurance needs. Carrie and her staff are always there to help you understand your options and come away with the right coverage for you. That's Carrie Van Aert with State Farm in Wisconsin Rapids. 3 minutes left in this game. West still with ball control. They're just always looking for a scoring opportunity here tonight. And another one comes. That is now the 5th goal for Wausau West. No offsides calls. Possibly for number 13 again. We'll wait for confirmation on that. 5 goals on Wisconsin Rapids tonight here on senior night for Wausau West. Rapids sets up again you know, trying to get really anything here so they can avoid that shutout. But with less than 3 minutes left, it's looking tougher and tougher. West taking it away again. You know, there is no stopping and passing around and taking your time as some coaches will approach, you know, this kind of prominent, extensive lead in a game like this. You know, we are seeing some passing, but there's still a quickness and a ferocity to score again that, you know, we just keep seeing from Wausau West. And, you know, it's great for the players, great for the energy of the team, the morale, to just kind of keep that going. We do get a little bit of their passing game here. Lots of triangular passes. You know, they're hitting their marks, hitting their shapes, which is really what it's all about here. Whether you're catching a game or gaming with friends, Solaris Fiber Fast Internet gives you the edge. No buffering, no delays, just smooth, reliable service from local company you can trust. Get connected today at Solaris.net. Another missed shot by Wausau West. Fortunate for Wisconsin Rapids here with another goal kick by number 8. I believe that is, yes, Sydney Meyer.
West goal by number 14, Layla Boyd.
The Wausau West goal tonight, their 5th goal of the evening, was by number 14. So a little bit of a different, you know, change of pace than what we've seen, but that is the 5th goal for Wausau West tonight. Approaching the final minute here in this game. Score, Wausau West 5, Wisconsin Rapids nothing.
1 minute remaining.
Investors' choice is Wisconsin Rapids' choice for financial investments. Understanding markets and helping you to keep a well-rounded financial well-being is as simple as visiting Investors' Choice for a conversation. That's Investors' Choice in Wisconsin Rapids. Aaliyah Leach will punt that back up about the 40-yard line in these final 35 seconds of this game. Staying in the Wisconsin Rapids defensive half, really have time to kill. There's not much you can do at this point in the game. Really just looking to kind of gain possession, keep control as we pass around to finish out this game. Ski's Meat Market in Stevens Point is the perfect place to find a huge selection of brats, beef, chicken, and more. Get your specialty grocery items, deli meats, and even more. Even bring in your wild game. Get it all at Ski's Meat Market. Their quality is worth the stop. With that final second of the countdown from our PA, that marks the end of this soccer game tonight. Wausau West came to Wisconsin Rapids, scored 5 goals, kept Wisconsin Rapids at a shutout for a final score of 5-0, Wausau West beating Wisconsin Rapids. I'll be down on the field shortly for a post-game interview with our player of the game. And I'd like to say Key Savings Bank proudly brings you today's post-game show. You'll find right at home from the moment you walk through the door at Key Savings Bank. Enjoy all the perks of working with your local community bank and experience it yourself by stopping in or online at keysavingsbank.com.
We have something that we're trying to create at Key Savings Bank called Outward Energy. We don't just want to have the doors open, our members walk through. We want to be where they are. We go to meet them, we participate in their events. We think that's vitally important for us to show that Key Savings Bank is a part of the communities that we're in.
We received a very positive reaction from our community. On average, we had 250 to 300 kids alone that entered our building for the Halloween party. That didn't include the adults, grandparents, parents that brought the children. It's wonderful to be out in our community grocery shopping with my Key Savings Bank apparel, and families walk up to me and say, "Hey, I attended your Halloween party."
So about a month ago, I was approached by Sheriff Becker of Wood County Sheriff's Department, and he asked me if we'd want to participate in the Back the Badge bench press meet. So Key Savings Bank sponsored, had a $500 sponsorship to that, and I myself participated in that. And it was a really great experience. There was about 40 different people that participated throughout Wood County and actually the state. So with the Sheriff's Department obviously doing so much for us and throughout the community, it was just our way of giving back.
And now when I tell my friends and family what I'm doing or what I do every day or what involvements I'm doing, they're like, oh, that's the bank that offered the Halloween party. That's the bank that does the Christmas party. That's the bank that sponsors these golf events. So our awareness alone has just become amazing in the last year.
Key Savings Bank participates in a lot of these events. We love to do it. We love to know the community and the other businesses within the community. It's rewarding to see smiling faces. The kids event, when we bring them pizza, there's not just one winner, there's multiple winners. Cheese pizza is one of the coolest things that these kids love. And just seeing the smiling faces is outstanding. Probably the funnest event that we do is what you see behind me here is our coloring contest for the local kids. It's a fun event. We do a lot of fun stuff with it on our Facebook page. The voting goes nuts because it's the community that votes for it. And at the end, there's a lot of participation. So that's the best event.
We had Thursday grill outs. We did that. We were raising money for the Rome Canine Division. We set up in mid-June to have grill outs each and every Thursday all the way through till the middle of August.
Numerous amount of golf outings where we raise money specifically for that event through our whole sponsorships and games that we play.
My employees right now are all very active in participating in literally hundreds of events over the last 2 years that make Key Savings Bank a part of this community. We think that's very important.
And I am here on the field with our player of the game, Ella Boleen, and Wausau West coach, Lance Kelly. Just talk a little bit, about how it feels to come here to Wisconsin Rapids, play on this field, and get a win over the Red Raiders tonight.
This has been a difficult place to play. We lost here in the playoffs last year, and so to come in here, provide effort and energy, get some quick goals from this player right here was just amazing, and it feels awesome.
Awesome, yeah, and we'd like to hear just a little bit more. Tonight was a conference matchup, but just kind of what the rest of your season, your approach to that, your lookout, especially in these conference matchups.
Sure. Every game, we call every game a conference championship. We take every game as if we don't win that game, we won't win conference. And so that's our ultimate goal this year, is to win conference. And right now, being 3-0, we feel pretty good about that.
Excellent. Thank you, Coach. And then I will talk here with our player of the game, Ella Boleen, sophomore at Wausau West. Great game played tonight. Excellent speed. Let's just start by talking a little bit. Wisconsin Rapids had a little bit of an unusual formation. Very offensive heavy, not so much in the back. So just what that was like, approaching that and playing against that tonight.
Yeah, so we worked on a lot of through balls at practices. I definitely couldn't do it without my teammates here. Just the fast pace and the hustle that all of our teammates went through, that's pretty much how I scored all those.
And then also just, you're a sophomore, younger player on this team, just kind of what it's like to work with your teammates, upperclassmen, freshmen, sophomores, just, kind of the team dynamic at Wausau West.
They're all super supportive. Like I said, I got all my teammates are all amazing to me. They all are very supportive, and after all those goals, they've supported me through all my journey here too. The seniors, I'm so thankful for them, and then the rest of my teammates, I'm very thankful for them too.
Excellent. We're gonna put you in the house,
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll give you this and I'll step out and I'll count you down.
Do I say I'm Ella Boleen and I'm in the house? Yes. Okay. Okay. I'm Ella Boleen and I'm in the house. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Final score from the Wisconsin Rapids Southwood County Stadium here tonight. It is 5-0. Wausau West taking the win over the Wisconsin Rapids Red Raiders. This game isn't all that we have for you this week on Zaleski Sports. Lots of other games, check them out on the YouTube and our website for more great coverage here in the Central Wisconsin area. For Braden Sutter, this is Olivia Zimmerman signing out. Everyone have a great rest of your evening and a good night.